In this episode, we have mud. We've got stuck trucks. We've got David.
Mud.
Blood.
Oh, blood and mud.
And trail damage. Well, the bumper's still on, which is good. Oh, look at that. Yep.
Welcome back to Taming Tumbleweed. This episode is going to be unique in that we're going to explain and tell you what Roman has learned after buying this piece of property that we call Tumbleweed Ranch. You know, I think Roman didn't realize everything it takes to maintain a piece of land, and he's learning. It's been fun to watch him learn. But today I want to show you all the things that we've either purchased or have been given on loan to take care of taming tumbleweed. So here at Tumbleweed Ranch, we get a plethora of vehicles, right? I mean, we have no shortage of pickup trucks and SUVs. However, every ranch needs a good farm truck. And this one is on loan from Mower. Not that I couldn't borrow one of the others, but I just don't want to tear up one of Roman's new trucks. Some are on loan from either Ford, Chevy, Ram, whatever. We own what? We own a Dodge, or how come I always say Dodge? We own a Ram. We own now a ZR2, and we're on loan right now, Trail Boss, and who knows what else. But you know, my preferred vehicle is an old beat up farm truck with a flatbed. And although this 454 can really haul quite a bit, I think the perfect farm truck, in my opinion, and I want your opinion too, by the way, the perfect farm truck, I think, is a first gen Dodge Cummins with a flatbed. There's the perfect farm truck. So even though we don't own this vehicle right here, we found at Tumbleweed that this is almost an invaluable piece of equipment. I'd never had an experience of having a side-by-side around to use at my convenience anytime. But I tell you what, if it's just hauling stuff around or pulling vehicles out, I love this thing. And I know that, you know, you guys will probably say, well, we don't need one of those. I mean, you probably, yeah, in your ranch, you probably don't need a side-by-side, but they sure are convenient to have. This mule has been great. Thank you, Kawasaki. I think what Roman is learning is that you need more than one piece of equipment to use on the ranch. Now, I would like to get you guys' opinion on what you use at your acreage, your ranch, your farm, you know, your little slice of paradise that we all have. Even you guys that have a condo, you know, you can dream about this kind of stuff. The first piece of equipment that we bought here at Tumbleweed was a skid steer. And although a skid steer is awesome for a lot of things, there's a lot of things that just won't do. Thus, right here, this is where it takes over. John Deere came in. Now I know Roman did a little shopping. He shopped Kubota and he shopped John Deere. The problem with Kubota, they didn't have any. John Deere had them in stock. Now this may not be perfect for every farm, but for what Roman does, it's pretty much near perfect. So I do like this tractor, but one thing that I have found for my ranch, this would be a little small. I have a backhoe with a big loader on the front. I have a skid steer. I have a zero-turn mower, of course, weed eaters, chainsaws, everything else. But as you find out when you bought your place, you can't find the perfect piece of equipment. You have so many choices, but you have a limited budget. This might be kind of fit right in that segment where it's not too much money, but it's enough to do everything you want to do, and here's why. So what are a lot of the tasks that you do on the farm or ranch? Mow, right? Probably the thing that you do the most on your farm, especially in the summertime, is just mow. Now the second might just be pushing snow in the wintertime. But mowing is just every weekend it's mowing, right? This one has a great mower that goes underneath the body. It's a belly mower. Sometimes belly mowers are kind of a pain in the butt because, you know, you're trying to get around trees and they don't turn real tight. Sometimes the belly mowers are just perfect for what you do. You have big, wide open fields. You want something that's not going to beat you up, that's going to be smooth. The belly mower is great for that. If you're mowing around lots of trees and lots of obstacles, you're probably going to want a zero-turn mower. But let's say you're on the farm and you want to dig a water line in and you don't want to hire an excavator to come out. This machine even has a backhoe that can dig 6 feet deep. And it also has a bucket on the front that could push the dirt back in the hole after you dug your water line. Push snow, right? Snow blower, rototiller, box grader, blade grader, ripping tines. I mean, a little machine that can just do so much. And that's what Roman has found, that this is kind of the perfect one for him, that it can do all those things if he needs it. So that day that Roman and I went to the John Deere dealership and he bought this 1023, the salesman explained to us the difference between this one and the 1025R. Roman opted to spend a little less money and to get this one. But now I kind of think it would have been smart to go back to the 1025R. Not that this one doesn't do the trick, but here's the main thing that I found, and Ed told us this when we bought it. The hydraulic lift, which of course runs the PT, the 3-point hitch in the back, and also runs the lift for the mower, had stops on it and was very precise, up and down. And this one is difficult to get it right where you want it back every time. For that reason alone, I think I would have spent the money. Yeah, armrest on the seat, not so much. 2 horsepower, maybe, but that little feature right there, I think would have been worth the money. Now, why didn't we get a loader? Some of you said you should have bought a loader. We didn't need a loader because we have a skid steer, right? Yes, on this machine, I think if you didn't have access to a loader, that would be a perfect implement for this machine, as well as the mower and a box grader or a blade. Those 3 things right there are very helpful. All right, I was noticing about the fit and finish on this tractor. This technically isn't a lawn tractor, garden tractor. Those have a different series. I don't know a lot about John Deere. I know that, hey, resale is great on John Deere. You guys all have your opinion about which type is better, and we're all good with that, right? Some guys like Chevy, some guys like Ford, some guys like Ram, some like Toyota. Same way with tractors. This tractor so far, I don't have any complaints. Fit and finish isn't necessarily like they used to be. It's all plastic. Everything's plastic. I remember back when I was 14, my parents bought our first garden tractor. We went down to Sears Roebuck and bought a Sears Craftsman 16 horsepower garden tractor. Man, I thought I was like the big guy on the tractor. You know, I got to mow all the grass, and we had a rototiller. I love that thing, but this is like far and away better piece of equipment than that ever was. But it is made out of plastic. Well, we hauled a bunch of gravel in here. It's actually not gravel, it's recycled concrete because it's cheaper than gravel, but it makes for great road base. But these pesky little prairie dogs have already dug a hole right smack in the center of my road that I built. So we're gonna take this box grader and just take him down. All right, so we haven't tried these out yet. These are ripper teeth. This is when you want to rip the ground up either to plant, maybe before you rototill, or if you want to rip up your driveway and get some more dirt to work with. It kind of loosens up the soil. So we're going to see how it does on rocks. I'm not sure that's very smart, but why not?
Got to demonstrate it somehow.
Somehow. We'll see what it does in the Rocky Mountains. All right, this will be fun. We're gonna rip the rock in two-wheel drive and see. We're going downhill, so gravity is going to help us out. But let's see if it can do it in two-wheel drive. If not, then we'll switch to four-wheel. All right, so I don't want any of you animal lovers out there getting on me for this, because I have this love-hate relation. No, it's just hate relationship with prairie dogs. They're just a nuisance. They dig big holes in my field at home, and my yaks step in them, and my kids step in them. But worst of all, they eat all the grass that my yaks are supposed to be eating, and they leave nothing but weeds. I don't know why people love prairie dogs. My prairie dogs, not that they're mine, but they're on my property, they multiplied by tenfold this year. Help! Case, what I did notice is those ripper teeth and the power of this machine and the traction that I get. This isn't really made for ripping rock. Yeah, it'd be good for out in your garden for ripping it up before you rototill, but I certainly wouldn't want to rip up a road in the Rocky Mountains with this machine.
So you think it's just not quite heavy enough, not enough traction?
Not quite heavy enough, quite powerful enough, big enough, strong enough, but for your garden, this is great. All right, this is our 54D, which means it's 54-inch cut. One of the cool features on that, and I'll show you a couple, it's auto connect, which means you drive up and over the top. That's what all this steel is right here. Here's your guide rails to keep your wheels from coming up over your belts. It's 3 blades, as you can see here. Our gear that changes direction, 1, 2, 3 pulleys. And auto connect means that when you drive up and over, the front connects perfectly to that bar, and then the PTO part connects right to here, and then all you have is a couple latches that connect right to here, and you're done. No muscling it around. And when you're done, this little fitting right here, you just hook the hose up to it, and you can clean the underneath side of your mower. So here's my impressions about mowing with the 1023E. I like the experience on the riding mower. I mean, it's different than having your zero turn. But I must say, I've been spoiled for about the last 20 years because I've been using a zero turn walker, and it's 2 fingers. I mean, there's no steering wheel. It's like this, back, forward, turn. It doesn't get any easier than that. So yeah, in a tight space like this in the front yard that's got lots of trees, lots of obstacles, a zero turn mower would be ideal. But in most people's worlds, you can't have every piece of equipment. You kind of got to decide what's the most basic, useful, versatile piece of equipment that I need that can do about everything. And I'd say a compact tractor is pretty much that piece of equipment. So yeah, it's not ideal for mowing every day, but you can dig trenches, you can cut grass, you can plow snow. What more do you want? So one thing nice about John Deere is the hydrostat is forward, reverse, forward, reverse. And a lot of them, it's forward, reverse. And so you're always got your leg and ankle at an awkward position. So I must say this is a lot easier. This lever on the 1023E only is useful when you have the bucket on the front, and we have no bucket. So this one doesn't do anything. But this is our mower and our 3-point hitch, hydraulic lift, down, up. Here's your basic 2-speed transmission. We've got low, neutral, high. All right, so this is our PTO speed adjustment. So obviously, when you're on the belly, so this is showing the belly, it's 2100 for the mower. If it's all the way back, it's only on the belly. But obviously you can run I guess, 2 implements. You can mow and maybe have an implement on the back at the same time, or you can just run the rear implement. I'm sure we've been running at 2100 RPM on our PTO. Your brake and also emergency brake right there. On, off, on, off. And throttle all the way forward, all the way back, and looks like our RPMs can go from basically 5 all the way up to 3,500 RPMs per minute. And you guys' comments are always so helpful, because we didn't know from when we first got the mower that all you have to do is push forward and you can mow in reverse. That's what starts the mower, and then if you want to mow in reverse, just hold it down and then let up. Pretty handy. Really, this is all you need right here for your basic yard work, but you know what we would like to know is what you guys use on your farm or ranch or acreage to maintain what you have. Of course, in different parts of the country, you're gonna have completely different needs. It's so dry here, as you can see, our grass hasn't been growing, but we'd like to know what you found is best to use on your farm. And for those of you who want to know how much Roman paid for this piece of equipment, we got the 1023E and the mower and the box grader for somewhere around 16,000, 17,000. Not bad for what you get. Today we're going to show you our finished pergola / fishing dock, and then we're also going to address naming our obstacles here at Taming Tumbleweed. So far we don't know which one's 1, 2, 3, or 4, so we're just going to name them, right? Actually, you guys named them, and today we're going to take some steel poles, some wood, and our signs, and we're going to make it so that you know which obstacle is which.
That's awesome, David. Plus, check this out. David has gone crazy with the road maintenance and the graveling, and we're going to see how our new tractor works all in this episode of Taming Tumbleweed.
Yeah, I had 4 loads of gravel hauled in, and then we spread it just to make sure we didn't have a muddy mess, because it does rain occasionally, and when it rains, it gets sticky. So we've hauled in gravel, do a little maintenance at Tumbleweed, and today we're going to make sure we have our signs in the right spot. What a great place to chill out after a day of wheeling the fish pond course. So last time we were here, we didn't quite finish our pergola. So we put our decking on, we finished our shade cover, and we've got all our bracketry on it. And it worked out pretty good, really. I mean, we've got our benches, of course, several benches, and it's a great place to chill out and fish.
How much did we spend on the pergola?
Well, we're lucky because I had a whole bunch of this crap wood in the back 40 of my house, and I was able to kind of cut it on my saw and save a bunch of money. I think I had to buy screws and bolts and concrete and a few boards for the planking on the floor. I think I spent about $1,600.
It's pretty darn good.
Pretty cheap for what it is.
Now over on TFL Off-Road, we've been running polls regularly asking you guys what we should name different obstacles on our fish pond course. We took the highest rated winners, and now David's coming down with the Kawasaki Mule, and we're gonna plant some signposts so you know exactly what obstacle is what. David, these came out great. How did you make these?
Well, all this pipe was when we tore the corrals down. So I just cut them up to length and then welded on some scrap pieces, drilled a few holes in them, and I think it'll be good for a long time.
Now, do we have a special machine to drive them into the ground?
Well, we have you, Tommy. You're my machine today. But look what I brought. Oh yeah, Tommy. I think this is just your size.
Yeah, okay. This is going to be entertaining, I think.
Yeah, it will be. I was hoping Case would be here so I could get him on the sledgehammer and make fun of him, but I'll just make fun of Tommy today. All right, we got to make sure our sign points the right way, Tommy. Somewhere about there. What do you think?
Looks great.
Okay.
Here, I'm going to help you out. I can put the camera down.
We're going to start small. You know, aim small, miss small. You know what movie that's from?
Dumb and Dumber.
No, not Dumb and Dumber.
The Breakfast Club.
The Patriot. No.
Oh.
Cut. The one with Mel Gibson?
I have no idea.
The Patriot.
Okay, we'll go with this.
Wow, that's harder than it looks.
Beautiful,
I thought
David.
it'd be just mud out here. I'm looking for a new place.
Beautiful. Look at that.
Not just anybody would trust me like that with a sledgehammer, but Tommy does.
So David, I have a question.
Yeah, what's your question?
Why do all of your screws have Torx bits on them?
Because they're easier to put in than Phillips.
Is that true?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they don't slip near as often. You got 6 points rather than 4 points.
See, all of us in the Jeep world are always complaining about Torx, but that's interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
No, they're kind of the new deck screw.
Huh.
I mean, Phillips heads are out, Torx are in.
Torx are in?
Yeah.
Sweet!
All right. It looks great.
Looks as straight as it's gonna be. That's a beauty, David.
Very good. I'll be there for a while.
So that's one side done, and now we only have, I think, 5 more to go. Yeah, so David, Dirty Deed is our mud pit, but it's looking less muddy today.
Yeah, it's drying out. It's getting hot. It's still got a fair bit of mud though. Oh, Tommy, are we gonna name this next one that we go up the steep part?
I don't think this next one has a name. I think we gotta go to the one by David's Folly.
All right, well, let's go up it anyway. I want to show everybody it's not that easy. You can actually get some air. I forgot to put it in low. Kawasaki still did it though. Tommy, were you in charge of putting the arrows on these signs?
I think it was a generic arrow on the sign. Is it pointing the wrong way, David?
Yeah, I was hoping we could put it down there and point it this way, and the dirt's a whole lot softer over there. But now I'm stuck with putting it on this side so that the arrow's pointing the right direction, and this is solid rock.
Well, I can do a little pounding too. We'll figure it out.
I don't think, doesn't matter what kind of pounding, I don't think we're getting it in there. What do you think, right here?
Looks good to me.
Well, so far so good. All right, I'm taking a chance here.
This is a chance you do not want to be taking, David.
Don't get your hand near that plate.
Wow, dude, I'm suck at this. Look how terrible this is going.
All right, Tommy, it ain't going in the rock here. So I got an idea. So since it's named after me, I'm a little backwards anyway and upside down. We're just gonna put it upside down. All right, Tommy, how much confidence you got in me?
All of it.
Let's see how accurate I am.
Wow. So David's Folly is this really steep left-hander, very off-kilter, and is of course well deserving of the David name because he is the mastermind behind this whole course. It was also probably the hardest obstacle to make, right, David? Because you had to bring the backhoe through here.
Yeah, it was a little bit, let's say, tenuous in getting the backhoe down here without turning it on its side.
So obviously the hardest obstacle to make gets David's name. So huge thank you to David, and of course David's Folly, which is upside down. It's pointing upside down right at you, David.
Yeah, no doubt. I'd say my kids probably will get a kick out of this. Am I going off the edge, Tommy?
A little farther, David.
Got it?
Oh, you're going off the edge.
This one you need a brake and gas at the same time.
Oh, nicely done, David. Right on the edge there, and that's why this is a little tricky, but you did it just fine.
So have I ever said on camera, I love this mule? I mean,
You like the mule?
I love this thing. I do. I mean, there's nothing it doesn't do for us, and it do it really well.
This is Home Free Hill. It's this really steep descent into mud and then a giant ascent up the mountain. Now I have to go back to the office and do a live show, which I feel terrible about because David's gonna be sledgehammering away.
Oh, I love being down in Tommy's demise after I've had all my follies. And then slip and slide, which ain't really slipping and sliding, but
That's what the folks named it.
I mean, if you had street tires, you'd slip and slide. And then Cottonwood Creek, which is really the toughest one in the whole bunch.
Yeah, that's a really hard obstacle.
Yeah, so I'll get these done and we'll be all named and ready for action.
All right, thanks, buddy. That's awesome.
Yeah, anytime.